population of 97 million, 75.5 million of which are Catholics, the church is not just an institution or a religion, it's a way of life. From history to modernity, this country is evolving faster than you can do this. A perfect playground for kids of all ages. All you need is some water! Welcome to Philippines! Finally back in the Philippines! I've calculated this is my third trip, and normally we hit about 3 islands per trip. Now, Philippines has 7,107 islands, so that means I have another 2,366 trips that I need to make back here. That's a lot to cover, so we better get started.
In order to conquer my goal of hitting all the islands, I started in the international port city of Manila. It's hard to believe that was once a small Muslim fishing village, has now grown to the now sprawling capital of the Philippines. This was the landing spot for the Spanish, Americans, and Chinese, so I thought I'd follow in their footsteps. Literally. I began my conquest using my 2 feet on a walking tour around Intramuros. Though these stone walls and forts are inanimate pieces of history, they come to life in a very animated history buff. Carlos.
Carlos,
Welcome to Intramuros!
thank you.
clava su puñal.
You know, I feel like I'm actually looking at some sort of gladiator site where, you know, you have all these entrances where you have animals are going to come out and then you have the gladiators coming out from other.
This is a military fortification. So this was what protected the city of Intramuros from the south and the west and the east. So they had threats from people coming from abroad, like the English, the Dutch, and then the angry natives coming from over there. And so this is actually the oldest part of Intramuros.
Of the city, wow.
The Philippines is a little bit between the east and the west. It's probably the only place in Southeast Asia that we can truly say is multicultural. Because if other countries are mixing it up, we mix it up even bigger. We have a little bit of Spanish, we have Christianity here, we have American influences, we have European Spanish influences, which are very rare. It's a bit jarring, it's not for everybody, but it's very rare when it comes to cultures that are represented in the region.
We're now standing on the
All
oldest
right.
part of the city.
So we're standing at the very edge of the city. I love coming here because this shows you all the elements of Manila's character.
Yeah. Manila is actually really a conglomerate of so many different cultures, right? You have
It was built as a trading port. So Manila is
Yeah.
actually a hybrid culture, one of the first in its region. And a lot of the reason why also is because a lot of Chinese people escaping the mainland and the emperor.
Yeah.
And you can see sort of the Chinese influences in its architecture. And basically what you got in Manila is this thing that you call volcanic ash.
So this is all local volcano.
Volcanic ash that came from up the river. So basically you're just building a city out of dust. Okay, so there's something interesting I want to show you, which also shows you the history of Manila and our mix between East and West. Because if you look at these stones over here,
Ah, it's in Chinese.
and if you look all around you, you're going to see
Oh yeah, there's another one
there's
over here.
another one right there.
Okay, my Chinese is very bad, but I think this is actually a tombstone.
It's a tombstone, exactly.
And this is, I think this is granite,
This is
right?
granite. Because in the Philippines, we call granite pietrachina.
Chinese stones.
Right? And so all of these Chinese people come here, brought over their technology. They brought over the technology of the stone. They brought over the technology of the houses. They brought over porcelain. And selling the porcelain is how Manila made its money. So they'd sell the porcelain, and in exchange, the Spanish would give us silver, crystal, chandeliers. So this was a city of the world. 7 churches filled with French chandeliers, Indian ivory, gold from Mexico, silk from China. And so here's another wonderful example of the East meeting the West in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Where else in the region can you see a Chinese lion
Temple lion in front of a cathedral.
protecting a Catholic church from evil spirits?
Yeah, that's awesome. Very fascinating.
As the oldest church in the Philippines, and having survived fire, looting, bombing, earthquakes, and flooding, the St. Augustine Church is eternal and everlasting, a symbol not lost on the locals, who find it auspicious to get married here. Because, come on, if a church can withstand a war, a couple should be able to withstand a marriage. We head from the oldest church to one that has a certain magnetic draw, San Sebastian Basilica.
So how old is this structure here?
It was completed in 1891. So, if the Philippine Revolution was 1898, 7 years before the Philippines was handed over to the United States after the signing of the Treaty of Paris.
Yeah.
So it is one of the last churches to be built in Manila during the Spanish colonial period.
It definitely does have the Notre Dame kind of feeling.
Yeah, no, because it's all imported from Europe, literally.
All the stones?
Walk this way. You can see the lines there of marble.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole top.
Okay, it's all an illusion.
Oh my gosh. It's hollow.
Yeah. Entire church is made of steel. Look, refrigerator magnet.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Masterfully painted so that it looks like marble, everything down to the bolts is just an illusion. This Gothic basilica is said to be the only prefabricated metal church in the world, with 52 tons of steel built in Belgium and then transported to the Philippines on 8 separate container ships. One thing that isn't a trick to the eyes, however, is the view.
Ow.
Oh, wow.
It's the rooftops of Paris, but yet you're not in Paris. But if you look around you, this shows you just how amazing the geographic setup of Manila is. You have an ocean that's constantly calm because it's not out in the open sea.
Yeah.
A river that runs right through your city. And then it's capped by majestic mountains over there at the very edge. The reason why Manila is interesting and different is because we're the only city who built our southwest. Every city in Asia is east. And that's why the Manila sunset is really interesting because it's very rare or very difficult to find a city in Asia that is facing west. The Manila Bay sunset is that golden moment in Manila that just makes everything worth living in the city for. Kind of interesting because the Manila Bay is where all our history came from. All of the Philippines is basically an amalgamation of different cultures. And these cultures in Manila came through Manila Bay. So when you're watching the sunset, you're actually watching the entrance of the history of the entire city.
I do like that day and night, Manila is very colorful.
Yeah.
You know, day and night, really.
It's
The
a very
people.
Latin, and it's a
Yes.
sort of a Latin sort of flouting.
Yes, yes,
you know.
yes, yes.
But
I need
don't-
more hand gestures.
Yeah, we more hand, it makes more alive, you know.
That's one thing you're definitely never ever going to be here in Manila and with the Filipinos. You're never going to be bored.
Nope.
Something's always going to surprise you. Something's always going to come out and be like, hey, by the way, look at me, look at me. And it's going to be really fun.
Yeah.
Tagged as the social networking capital of the world, Filipinos are taking to the web to express their views, to share their interests, and more importantly, to change their country one tweet, one post, one step at a time.
Yesterday, I saw the historical part of the city, the oldest part of Manila. It is always constantly changing and evolving. So now let's check out the modern part of the city.
The new Manila is a mix of architecture, shopping, fashion, art, and food, spanning across 16 districts, each with its own growing and changing personality.
Bianca? Hi. It's really new. I see lots of construction going on, and it's
Actually,
quite
the
different.
whole BGC is basically probably the newest city there is around Metro Manila, and it's really different. 'Cause I find BGC so unique because it gives so much importance to open spaces. to parks, open spaces. There are a lot of trees, there's art, and it's so beautiful during the afternoon when everyone comes out, dogs are allowed. It's a pet-friendly city. There are street performers. Everyone seems to be in such a good mood.
You might be thinking, it's shopping. Of course girls are going to be in a good mood. But to the Filipinos, girls and boys alike, it's a little more deep than just retail therapy.
So why are there so many malls here?
Well, the Filipinos, well, us, we're very, very close-knit families. And we're such a hot country.
Yes.
So it's the perfect bonding area for families. We love malls. We're such a mall culture, like we said. They love hanging out in malls, even if to do nothing, even to spend nothing. Just to walk around, enjoy the aircon, enjoy people watching, enjoy window shopping.
Sometimes to see how a city is changing, you need to look a little bit closer, read the writing on the walls. Street art or graffiti is an ever-evolving platform that has changed from a rebellious means of expression to commissioned artwork used to inspire, decorate, and transform.
Hello.
Hi, DJ.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Janet.
DJ.
So what is this that you're actually covering?
It's actually trash and recycling building.
Yes, I
So
heard
we met
it's
in,
an MRF,
yeah,
Material
MRF.
Recovery Facility.
Yeah.
Because right beside it are restaurants. And
Yeah.
So everyone's trash comes here.
Uh-huh.
So part get recycled and the other part goes to the trash. So
Yeah.
perfect. You wouldn't think, right? You think
No,
it's
no,
like a
definitely.
warehouse
I
or
like how they take it. They take something that's actually quite not so nice. I mean, the
Yes.
trash incinerator, a recycling center.
You want to try anything? You guys want to
Yeah.
try potatoes? And that is called can control.
Public art now extends beyond a fountain or statue, from murals to performance art and everything in between. It's quick, it's fluid, it inspires invention, but also promotes acceptance. There's a group of people that believe fashion can do the same.
They're really nice.
These are bags. So pretty, right? Would you believe it's made out of rags?
Rags?
So it's made by a company called Rags to Riches. Basically, they're a community of women who get scrap fabrics and then make them into rags. So from the rags, they earn about maybe $50.
Oh, wow.
That little.
Yeah.
So they decided, hey, why not make beautiful bags so that they can sell it for more?
Yeah.
This sells for thousands, okay? So this material is actually what used to be a rag to
Right,
wipe tables.
to like clean the the dining table or
Exactly,
whatever.
so now they earn so much from it. And yeah, these bags are actually a collaboration between the company Rags to Riches and one of our most popular and best local designers. His name is Rahul Laurel. So this is actually his whole atelier.
Uh-huh.
It's called House of Laurel because it's like a one-stop shop. Hey Rahul!
Hello.
This is Janet.
Finally get to meet the man.
Yes, the land.
Good to meet you. I love your designs.
Oh, thank
They're
you. Welcome.
Very, very
Welcome
nice.
to our store.
Yes. Oh, these are beautiful.
I'm working on this because it's like my interpretation of modern Filipino
Uh-huh.
and what I think translating the past and making it more current for the
Okay.
future. For instance, this is actually banana.
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 Wait, which part?
Like a monkey eats a banana.
Yeah, but not the fruit.
Yeah.
Basically the bark.
Yeah.
And inside the bark you actually dry
The
it.
fibers.
The fibers of the bark.
This is
This is banana.
Wow. And then, so what are the other fruits?
Well,
Do you
we
have
also
banana?
have this one, which is actually made from pineapple. The inside of the leaf.
I'm expecting it to smell like
No,
pineapple.
this is actually the raw form,
Uh-huh.
and then you weave it up and then create fabric.
And this is a traditional.
This is very traditional. This is actually probably the most Filipino material of all.
Oh, I can imagine in the heat, like this would be
I know.
really,
This
really
is
nice.
perfect.
Yeah, if you go
It's
down
ingenious.
south, we have huge pineapple
Pineapple
plantations
plantations
and banana
bananas
trees
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah. Anything made out of mango? I love the mangoes here. They're
Not
so
yet. Maybe that's the next development.
Yeah,
That's-
let me know. I will be your model for the mango outfit. All right, there is always room for a fiesta or a party here in the Philippines, but we have to make sure we look the part. So, Rahul, after you.
Let's go.
All that catwalking has made me hungry. A trip to any country is not complete without food. Philippines' advantage of having so many international long-term visitors is that they've taken the best of each culture, mushed it with their own, and produced a cultural concoction found in few other places. Meet Erwan, the man who insatiably tries and eats everything.
Very excited about the food.
Yes.
Yes, you've definitely become highly recommended.
I actually started cooking, and then that's when I realized what food can have effect on your body.
Uh-huh.
So that's how I got more and more into food and into the different varieties and everything.
Yeah.
I'm half French, half Filipino. Grew up in the Philippines, eventually moved out to study in France, and I always had this love affair with food, discovering buffets and unlimited bacon at a very young age. So as I grew up until the age of 21, I just got bigger and bigger and bigger until at one point, I think my doctor said, okay, I think you're at level 1 obesity already. So I decided, instead of looking at food as the enemy, why not look at it as my friend? And I found out that through understanding food and actually cooking your own food, you could lose weight from time to time.
So we're following right now a dirty ice cream truck, and I'm really, really tempted to honk the horn and be
Do you
like,
wanna try
can we stop? Yeah, let's do it. Hi. So this is dirty ice cream.
Correct, dirty ice
Literally, we've stopped them on the highway. Do you have cheese?
Cheese in ube.
Cheese and ube?
Ube is the purple one.
Okay, yeah. So I love cheese.
Yeah.
I've never had it as ice cream before.
Here it's really popular, and then you have actual chunks of like big processed, not good for you cheddar cheese, but it's actually fantastic.
So it's like Velveeta cheese. It's not like a sweet.
No, it's like your
cheese.
American processed cheddar cheese.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a little salty, and then you'll get some hints of mango in there too, because they usually mix the two, because
good.
it's complementary.
Mm.
And lots of condensed milk.
Yeah. Salamat! Bye-bye!
Ice cream is the perfect appetizer for our breakfast. Yes, breakfast. Here, along the ridge of the tall lake in Tagaytay, you'll find the perfect city escape.
Wow. This is a nice view.
One of the best views in the Philippines.
So we're actually on top of the volcano now.
You're on a ridge of
Yeah.
the volcano, and then that small little mountain is the actual Taal volcano.
Yeah.
Everything that you see here was actually formed because of volcanic
Yeah.
activity and explosions. So all these little peaks and mountains formed.
Yeah. So this is like a mini Philippines, actually.
Yeah.
Because inside a body of water, you have
Lots
all
of
the
different
islands.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah, that's awesome. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. So what is everything here? Because it does not look like breakfast.
No. In the Philippines, we have this thing called silog, which is basically a combination of eggs and rice.
Yeah.
So the most popular ones are a beef tapa, which is beef caramelized with a little bit of sugar, lots of garlic and raw onions.
Okay.
And that's served next to, of course, roasted garlic rice. Because
Yeah.
we just need to have our
Garlic rice.
And then next you have the gindara, which is a local white fish.
Okay.
And that's just been fried with different aromatics. And it's served also with a roasted garlic rice.
Yeah.
Next we have the local chorizo, which is also known as longanisa. And it has lots and lots and lots of grated garlic in there as well, some ginger, some sugar, and lots of spices. So it packs a really strong
Nice.
punch.
Yeah.
And then finally, so this is soup, which you don't really usually see in a breakfast table.
Yeah.
But here, soup is such a predominant part of any meal. So this one called sinigang. So it's a tamarind-based soup, and here it's served with locally grass-fed corned beef.
Okay.
So it's lots of fat, lots of flavor, and it's actually not shocking
Yeah.
to have this many elements on a table, because here, if you
Wow.
order something, it's not your plate.
Yeah.
Each time you think you own that
family
dish,
style.
yeah, exactly. So you'll be
Okay.
eating, and people will literally cross over and pick
Yeah.
from your plate.
With Filipino cuisine, it's almost like they can't decide which flavors they want to highlight, and so everything is mixed in together, in a way that just works. I must say, I do like the idea of breakfast all day, any day. Back in Manila, it's time to loosen my pants again for another meal. It's easy to see just how other cultures influence Filipino food. They eat a merienda, the silverware has Spanish names, and this is just the beginning.
So why is this place named XO46? Is it after the cognac?
No, we don't have Filipino cognac, but I believe XO means extraordinary, and then the Philippine Independence Day is the 12th of June, 1946.
So it's not quite fusion. You don't actually mix like French and Filipino
No,
food. You
no,
just
no, no.
take Filipino food and use French cooking techniques.
Correct. The only fusion you'd actually see here is flavors being borrowed from different regions of the Philippines, because the flavors are very distinct. Filipino food, there's no set recipe. Unlike French food or Italian food, there's certain ways to do things. Sauces are sauces, pastries are pastries. It's a cooked out adobo, but this one has no sauce. So all the sauce is basically inside of the beef, and then they serve that with hot chili, so it really cuts into everything nicely.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's sweet potato, but instead of using the vegetable itself, which is the root, they use only the leaves, and they cook that down with coconut milk and chili, which is just very straightforward, but one of my favorite dishes locally.
You know, I think that is definitely the island culture. Like you have the, you know, because you are basically almost Polynesian, right?
Correct.
It's very much Polynesian. But then also you have the Latino flair.
That's right,
You know, so you see in the culture, and you definitely see in the food. I mean, the food here, it's like tapas, but a la Asian.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Because they're really strong flavors, but like soupy, saucy, and you know, you feel like you do need like a bucket of rice
Correct.
to go with it, right? To go with it.
Yeah. And then you have the more Asian side also, that just in the way people are family oriented, and, you know, that's very Asian.
Very, sharing.
Correct,
right. So don't be surprised if I do this.
That'd be completely normal here.
So it's a party inside my mouth, it's a party in my belly, and normally when there's a gathering of a whole bunch of Filipinos, it's definitely going to be a festive and very, very happy atmosphere.
Correct.
The night and my Manila excursion is coming to a close, but not without one last bash. One thriving nightlife is just what the doctor ordered to help work off some of those calories I just picked up.
Manila, what you really want, the perfect hangover cure, is to fly over to a tropical island like Cebu and find a nice viewing point and just enjoy the scenery. But this is not my idea of relaxing.
Cebu is a bean-shaped island in the middle of the Visayas region of the Philippines. Visaya stands for victorious and excellence, and anybody who comes to these islands agrees. Cebu in particular reigns in its commercial, religious, and historical importance. Having once been occupied by Hindus, animists, Muslims, Spanish Catholics, led by Portuguese Captain Magellan, to Americans and even Japanese, maybe everybody felt like they had their piece of paradise and simply didn't want to leave. Though I can't actually take a piece of Cebu home with me, there is one thing that I can bring back to share, and that's music to my ears.
So a great way to get to know a culture of a place is through its music. Anybody else getting a island vibe?
Welcome.
Thank you. Hello.
Budoy is a reggae musician, songwriter, and artist, part of Junior Kilat. If you can't understand what he's rapping about, don't worry. Most people in the Philippines won't either, because he's actually singing in Cebuano.
10 years or 15 years ago, we started to making our own songs, like original compositions in Cebuano and in Waray, also my language. can say that we really represent the Filipino culture in general because our song is really in the dialect. It's not English. We try to find our roots. Like my style of singing, we call it lowa or lowa and siday. It's a kind of poetry, but at the same time song. It's like an oral tradition. I follow that. I learn from that. I believe that's the only way to localize the music and also to be at par with the international. It's nice to really make an original sound, original content to sing about your story, our story.
Budoy is adamant about not just preserving but promoting the art, culture, and music of this island, and he's enlisted the help of some friends.
Bye.
This is Janet.
Hello, hi
Hello,
Janet.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
This is Raymond, like the leading sculptor in Cebu.
No, I know. Budoy is
this-
my friend.
This one
Yes.
of your works?
Yes, this is a lady on a park bench.
Two
Boy-
ladies.
Yeah, now two ladies in a park bench.
Oh, this is very cool.
It is entitled Black Magic Woman.
I can see the influence of the guitars and the music
Yeah.
of Cebu.
Carlos Santana is who we pay homage to because that's
Yeah.
Black Magic Woman. It's famous here. And it's a Stratocaster, a Fender guitar built to scale.
Wrong side.
Yeah.
Because Cebu is also very famous
Yeah.
for the guitar making.
Yeah.
Guitar
he's
as
a good
well, and the
guitarist
guitar
too.
playing.
Are you a guitarist?
No, I play a bit of guitar.
Wow.
I play a bit of guitar,
So-
but this guy is the musician.
I've noticed that
Yeah.
everybody in the Philippines is a musician in their own way. It doesn't matter if it's in their own bathroom or if it's like you on stage. But everybody here can sing, everybody plays music.
Yeah, that's
Yeah. Manila, it's a big city, so it's urban. So they get their inspiration from their surroundings, like the urban. So there's a lot of urban artists there, and it's really like contemporary. But here, we have more access to the natural environment, natural material. So that's why sometimes installation artists, they don't need to buy paint. They just go to the forest or to the sea or like collect some driftwoods. They can make their own art, you know.
Sigbin original, Sigbin original, Sigbin original, Sigbin original, Sigbin original, Sigbin original.
What are the elements that comprise your idea of paradise? Blue waters, sandy and coral islands, a cool breeze, incredibly welcoming people are up there on my list. Budoy kindly offers to take me island hopping to help me complete my mission of visiting as many of the 7,107 Filipino islands as possible.
This is when I was still young, like elementary, kid. So I used to go out with my granddad because we have this lawagan. It's a fishing boat with a crew of 11. We used to go out in the oceans, like open sea, and sometimes the waves are big and I throw up, puke. I'll just buy from my granddad, like I'll buy a basket of fish, maybe 10 kilos of fish for 20 peso. I'll sell it in the market for maybe 70 or 100 peso, then I got 80 peso.
Now it's time to test my bargaining skills in the market.
Wow, look at this.
Hama. Tagpila man eh. Tag-3 ako sa.
How much for this?
Same price.
What's the same price?
All 300.
Everything's 300.
Yeah.
Really? Everything?
Everything.
300. What is that? What is
Same
that?
price.
That's like
Eh,
$6.
Sampay.
Sampai. Yeah, that's like Chinese is very good. This is a delicacy, and I cannot believe how cheap it is. But I guess it just grows just out there.
Tagpila.
50 pesos.
Sige na. Sige, okay, good.
50 pesos. Oh my God! I just bargained it down to 50 pesos. That makes me think it should be cheaper. 10 pesos. I have high cholesterol. Can't eat. No, this is dos 20. Dos uno.
Dos cuenta. Okay.
Dos 40.
Pwede.
I'm using Spanish on an island here off of Cebu, and I just bargained 3 lobsters for $2.40.
Nice.
It's a good deal. It's a good deal.
Those islands that we visited, they don't have water there, like source of water, so they really need to go to the mainland to get water. Before, it's only outpost for fishermen, so they're tired, they just dock their boats there, then sleep or maybe eat. But no one lives there before. But now, as you can see, it's like resorts, and some people actually live there now because it's easy to get water in the mainland. You just bring it there.
Look at what we have in front of us. Really, it doesn't matter. When you have this view, you have a nice new instrument, you have a new friend, and you're just chilling,
Okay.
just relaxing. That's what our
Start
song should be
singing.
about. Okay.
Bodor doesn't know how to swim.
And Janet definitely doesn't know how to sing. I think I should keep my day job.
Crazy as it may sound, there are people who find Cebu too hectic. And so we take things one more notch slower to the island of Bohol. 10th largest island in the Philippines, and historically it is where the first international treaty of peace was signed between the local kings and the Spanish. Such a beautiful and peaceful island now, you definitely won't find anybody raising arms today. Unless it's to literally raise their arm to order another piña colada. Resorts and beachside escapes aside, Bohol is an island of religious and historical significance. Take for example this church, claimed to be the second oldest stone church in all of the Philippines. It's also one of the best preserved, and that's possibly because of the resilience of the stones, which are partially coral chunks taken from the ocean centuries ago.
Hi, Janet. Nice to see you.
Oh,
Tertiary lake. Thank you.
Algene takes me around her native Bohol. One of her favorite pastimes is to head to the Lobok River, one of the main attractions of the island. Nepu huts dot the riverside where villagers have set up their homes next to the lifeline of Bohol. From the Lobok River, they get their water, food, resources, and even entertainment. On the way to the river buffet cruise, we are greeted with some local musicians.
Is this typical music?
yeah.
I know music here is a very important part of the culture.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this guitar. That's a huge guitar. I've never seen such a big guitar. It's like taking a bass and then like swinging it this way and playing it this way. That's so cool. I like it. It's so festive. So what's the dance?
You can dance whatever you want.
However you want.
No steps.
It's like Spanish music, but with an island flair. Woohoo.
Once on the river, the tempo of the music drops another notch, and this is exactly how I'd describe a lazy Sunday. With some local dishes to munch on, we glide away to get a closer look at some performances, to which, of course, we are always invited.
There's a part there where the people in Lobok will have presentation. They will have traditional dances, and they also composed a Boholano song. It's also like welcoming the people, and they are performing traditional dances like tinikling that I've tried a while ago.
Oh, I've just discovered that I have no rhythm whatsoever. I've actually completely slammed my feet in. But what is awesome is that you have all these little people around me dancing so happily. And look, the whole family is out. You got grandmas, you got kids. The whole atmosphere is absolutely festive. All right, time to put my hat on and try dancing again. want to jump into the water.
Wow, yeah, because it's really hot now.
You know, we're not that far from the city, and it's so nice to be able to just come here, enjoy a nice meal. You can feel the breeze, and you're just surrounded by nature. It's really, really nice. And it's really fun because you can actually see locals all along the river, and you can kind of interact with them and see how they live.
Another local resident of Bohol is keeping its eye out for you. But you really have to make sure your eyes are keen because it's all too easy to miss these guys.
All right, keep your eyes nice and big. We're on the lookout for a really small, 5-inch tall little guy that's sleeping, and that's brown in the middle of the jungle.
Yeah.
Do they basically, like how can you spot them because we're in such a jungle area. It's very enclosed.
Yeah.
It's a tertiary.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny.
It's very small, so their mature size is 5 inches. So here in the Philippines, you can only see that here in Bohol.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tertiaries are considered as nocturnal creature,
Yeah.
so meaning they're active at night and they're supposed to be sleeping during daytime.
Yeah.
That's why we are not allowed to touch or to hold the tertiary. And no flashes on the camera. If you have camera, no flashes. Because the tertiaries are already considered as endangered species, that's why they're very strict right now. The tertiaries now have a conservation area. It's like in their natural habitat. They live longer in the wild because tertiaries are like territorial also. They like to be in the wild, just be themselves. So you cannot make that as a pet. You cannot bring that to your house. When you put that in a cage, they are very suicidal. They have a very sensitive forehead. They bang their head until they die. But when they look straight, they don't have peripheral vision, so they can only see objects in front of them. They cannot see the objects at their sides.
Yeah.
So they can turn their head 180 degrees to the left and 180 degrees to the right.
Okay, so they're like the owls of the primate family.
Yeah.
So the big eyes and then the heads that can
Yeah.
turn.
And they also have long tails. See that tails there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
just
that's like a rat.
Yeah. So they use that as balance when they leap from one tree to the other.
Yeah.
So you know what? They can leap as high, almost 10 feet from one tree to the other.
10 feet.
Almost 10 feet.
10 feet, and they're only 5 inches.
Yeah, 5 inches mature size.
Oh, that's incredible. So these little tertiaries, they're primates. They're the smallest primates in the world. And they're only about 5 inches, so it's like this big. And they can jump 10 feet. That's like if we humans were able to jump, like what, 40, 50 meters. That's really, really far. But look at it. They're really, really cute. I can kind of see where E.T. and Gremlins and Yoda get their inspiration. Look at the face.
In terms of nature, we have Chocolate Hills. Before, it was called Carmen Hills because most of the hills are concentrated in the town Carmen. So that's why we call that before Carmen Hills. But then we changed the name from Carmen Hills to Chocolate Hills because summer here in the Philippines is very hot. That's why the kugon grasses on the hills, they are ignited by the sun. So they turn from green to chocolate brown. So that's why they look like Kisses chocolate.
I heard there's also some fables, some historical tales.
Yeah, actually there were 2 legends on how the Chocolate Hills were formed.
Yeah.
One legend is that there were 2 giants who were quarreling each other. So they were throwing mud stones at each other. When they were done, they just left the mess behind. And then the other one, there was a giant named Arugo who fell in love with a mortal girl named Aluya. When the girl died, Arugo cried nonstop. It's believed that his tears become solidified, thus became the Chocolate Hills.
So now I heard my own legend about these chocolate hills, and it's about a giant who fell in love with a local. But the local girl said, no, I'm not in love with you, you're too big, you have to lose weight. And so he just stopped eating and he left his own chocolate hills and he lost lots of weight.
Oh, really? I just heard that now.
Okay, so maybe it's my own legend.
Yeah.
Inspired by my legend, we decide to get even closer to nature. What better way to get to know the city of Danao by doing an eco tour? It's environmental, it's educational, and it's extreme. And if you've never come to Bohol before,
So I've discovered that Bohol is a really great place to see all the oddities that nature has to throw at you. For example, the chocolate hills and even the tertiaries with their big eyes. But sometimes you just want to hang out, chill, relax, take it slow. We found somewhere where you can just kind of hang out, wear a helmet. Are you ready?
No.
Let's do it! Woo!
All this flying has once again made me hungry. Anybody else here feel like they're going to leave the Philippines a few kilos heavier? And is this whole lechon all for me?
Like the fire in a fire dance, the Philippine people really are absolutely passionate about everything they do, whether it's their religion, their way of life, even their food. And of course, you see this across all of the islands. Now, there's only one thing that I have yet to do on this trip, and that is to get off the island, into the water. I can't wait. Tomorrow we're going diving.
The island of Bohol is 100 kilometers long with plenty to do on land. But one of the real treasures is what you find just off the land. Bohol and the adjoining island of Balikasag are surrounded by warm 30-degree waters with plenty of coral and marine life. Over the past few years, locals have started to appreciate the underwater world just at their doorsteps and have exchanged their fishing poles for oxygen tanks, and the diving world and Mother Nature are ever thankful for it.
This is what I'm talking about. Hello, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien,
Enchanté.
enchanté. Bravo. Smile to the lens. Hello, Lance. How are you, Lance?
C'est Edwin?
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 And yes,
Yeah, Edwin introduced
this
this
place.
beautiful place to me. I could not be more happy right now.
this is basically the end of the project.
Yeah.
You don't suspect it when you're in the garden. You don't suspect that you actually get to the sea
Yeah.
and have this panorama. And what we did was to hide the restaurant as you walk in to create a surprise.
Yeah.
So we planted all around so people don't see the sea until they get to the terrace. Actually.
Yeah. Oh, this is a surprise that I will want every single day.
Oh wow! My wife and I, we found this beautiful place in Bohol, in Panglao Island, and we bought and built a house, and that was a retirement house. My retirement only lasted 5 minutes because I got immediately, tired of resting, and we decided to actually buy more lands and develop a garden, and then the garden became a park.
Nicholas's real passion, though, is the diving. All aboard! Better keep up because we're not waiting around for anybody. There's fish and coral to see.
What a life.
Wow, what a So welcome to Tarsia Nautica. This is the ship. Big word. So we are in the Bohol Sea at the moment. We are cruising on the Bohol Sea, facing Alona Beach, and we are going towards Balikasag Island, which is just on the horizon over there.
Okay, so that's the famous dive
That's
spot.
the famous dive spot with a marine reserve.
So that is the site to go to.
This is the site to go to. That's right.
What is the name of the first diving spot?
We are going to Cathedral.
Cathedral.
Cathedral because
Okay.
it's actually the rock formation
Yeah.
looks like a church. Lots
Yeah.
of cracks in the rocks. So it's a very steep wall. We are in the Visayas Sea, which is the center of the Philippines. Balikasag is one of the two islands south of Bohol where divers go. The other one is called Pamilacan. Pamilacan is further away. It's good for diving, and there are more snakes, sea snakes over there. Balikasag is more, everything is there. You've got beautiful coral, you've got more fish, but you've got more divers as well.
All right, so we're ready to jump into the water. Now, remember the Tazirs, right? They have really big eyes. That's gonna be me in the water because I know there's gonna be tons to see.
Okay.
See you in the water.
Okay.
A big step for humanity.
Within seconds of being in the water, oh, hello, turtle. Sorry, what was I saying again? Ah, yes. The marine life here is like the Filipino people, unafraid, curious, and friendly. One of the richest in biodiversity, this is part of the world you don't want to miss.
All year round, it's very clear water, and the water is very warm. There is good marine life. It's not the top, but it's very good marine life. And the corals, I mean, what you have to actually see in Bohol in general are the corals. It's a beautiful coral formation. A lot of microorganisms, so it's great for photography. Today I was very surprised, actually. I mean, we saw some turtles, we saw some small barracudas, we saw jackfish, big group. I think the process is happening faster and faster because last year, I mean, we had something like maybe 100 jackfish, and it used to be 50 a few years ago. Today we were in probably something like 300 or 400. So you can see that the process is really going on. This is something you don't find. I mean, you find that in other places, but probably not as widely distributed as Bohol. So it's all in one. It's a beautiful package actually for diving.
The water down here is amazing. It's like 30 degrees, so it feels absolutely perfect. And I saw a turtle! It was this big! Oh!
Well, home is here now. First of all, my ears are getting bigger, my eyes are getting bigger. I'm turning into a tarsier. My boat is called Tarsia Nautica, which is my project is called Tarsia Botanica. So I think I've got I caught the disease already, basically. It's a great country to live, actually. It's a great place to live.
When I came on this trip, I decided that I needed to discover all 7,107 islands. After some calculation, I've discovered that it's going to take me 25 years. So I think I'm going to need to move here like Nicholas has. Good idea?
Good idea, I like it.
All right, we'll see you next time. One thing is for sure. It is more fun in the Philippines! Are you ready? Yes.
船标动。
Oh my god!
Let's
oh
do
my
it.
god! Oh my god!
Come on, you can do